Go and grab your Bewear merchandise today. There are t-shirts, sweatshirts, phone cases, and more, all with the link down in the description below. You do not want to miss out. What's up, guys? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming. Today we have MPL Week 4, I believe. This was one of the makeup weeks from after we had taken over the team. It was one of the weeks that wasn't done, and it took us forever to be able to get it because the guy we're fighting against, Carney, go check him out, all the links down below and stuff. He had a lot of stuff going on for school and everything that he really had to focus on, so he was kind of MIA for a while. But we finally got to it. It's going and doing stuff for school is completely understandable in my eyes. So we actually have now our battle of Week 3 going up. And to give a quick run through of his draft, he has Kartana, which is a Z user, Tyranitar, Thunderous Incarnate, Vaporeon, Cresselia, Heliolisk, which is his other Z user, Slurpuff, Hitmonlee, Shuckle, Kommo-o, and Sandslash. And when I looked at his team, I had a feeling he might think if I bring Rain, he would bring like Counter Rain. And so what we see on his side, on his team as right now on the screen is that he brought Kommo-o, Cresselia, Sandslash, T-Tar, Thundy, and the Hitmonlee. God damn it, I was getting all my Hitmonlees confused. But it looks like he didn't bring exactly a counter rain by using rain, but just by actually trying to fight the weather war with us with his T-Tar. As far as our team goes, we have Spike Dudley, going to be end up leading off the battle and everything. Basically, Ferrothorn, just Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs, Iron Head, Stealth Rock, Spikes, T-Wave, with max HP, 4 in attack, and then max Impish in defense. I didn't think I needed Gyro Ball with how slow his draft was for things I was actually going to hit Gyro Ball with. Like, I believe the fastest thing I would actually want to hit Gyro Ball on was Tyranitar. So it didn't seem worth it at that point to run Gyro Ball, so I just ran Iron Head for the coverage for the attacking move. And because I saw Tyranitar, Kartana, and Hitmonlee, basically his physical threats don't like seeing Ferrothorn and getting all of that damage back from Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet and stuff. So I wanted to go with that. Next up we have Airborne, our Tornadus, holding the Charti Berry, the Rock Berry and everything, with Regenerator, Hurricane, Taunt, U-Turn, Knockoff, 68 in HP, 4 in attack, 4 in defense, 252 special attack, and then 180 in speed with a Naive Nature. Weird little set, but it was really, I had 8 left over, and I just split them between my attack and defense. Basically, I want to taunt Cresselia. Like, this was kind of built as much as I could counter Cresselia. Just by being able to taunt it, knock off its item, and then U-turn out into something else. And then Hurricane just has natural stab for things like the Kommo-o and Hitmonlee. Knock off against the rest of his team, like the knocking off Vaporeon would be really nice. Knocking off Slurpuff's Citrus Berry before Belly Drum and all, or before all that would be really nice. Knocking off Shuckle. I was also wanting to taunt, lead Shuckle and stuff like that as well. It was just an overall support Tornadus. I've been using Tornadus more as a support mon, and I like it in the battles as a support mon, but I feel kind of ashamed to use something that's really powerful as just kind of a support mon. But this is what we have for this week. And next we have Politoed, the Godfather, with a Damp Rock and Drizzle, with Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Encore, with 252 in HP, 4 in special attack, and then 252 special defense, and Calm Nature and all that. Basically a good Spadef wall on this team. We have Ferrothorn for physical threats, Politoed for special, and then I want to keep the Rain up as long as possible, even though he had the threat of Heliolisk. With support, I'll get into my Kabutops set a little later on, I want Rain up as long as possible. And then I also want to be able to Toxic and then Encore the Cresselia as well. Toxicking and Encoring Shuckle would be huge, and then same thing with Vaporeon, being able to like maybe lock it into Wish strategy. It'd be really nice to Toxic stall things with Politoed. Next we have really one of the 2 wall breakers on actually straight up wall breakers on this team, with Vikavolt, Sergeant Slaughter, or Life Orb, with Agility, Bug Buzz, Thunderbolt, and Air Slash, with 84 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 172 and Timid in speed. I believe that gets me close to what like a Scarf Heliolisk would be with speed when I'm at my +2 with Agility. I think I'm close to it, or I outspeed everything at that point. I can't remember which one it is. But either way, if we can get our Agility up, we outspeed at everything probably besides 1 or 2 Mons that could be Scarfed on his team. And we hit things hard with Bug Bolt, Pretty much. Bug Buzz, Thunderbolt, and Air Slash. Air Slash was a move I really have just for Hitmonlee and kommo-o, and we see it on your screen, he brought both of them. So I'm glad we brought Air Slash for those two specifically, as they could live the Bug Buzz and Thunderbolt combo. And if we had Flash Cannon for a Steel type or anything, or for Shuckle or stuff like that, it wouldn't have been worth it against those two. Next we have Ric Flair, our Kabutops. I know he shares his name with our Sneasel in the MPL, or in the PPL, but you know what? It is what it is. With Life Orb, Waterfall, Stone Edge, Rapid Spin, and Aerial Ace, with 36 in attack, 252 in, or 36 in HP, 252 in attack, and then 220 Jolly in speed. And this is because we have Swift Swim. If we're in the rain, we outspeed everything completely. If we are not in the rain, we outspeed, I believe, over half of his draft at this point. So that's really what I was going for Kabutops, not just outspeeding in the rain, but also outspeeding outside of it. And really, we're going to hit things hard in the rain. Like, this is not really as so much as I believe the wall breaker of the team, like Vikavolt is. He's our kind of late game cleaner. That's what I'm trying to say. Is we can keep Godfather around till late game, get him in, sack him off if we need to just to get the rain back up, bring in Kabutops, and just quick Waterfall and Stone Edge until things die. That's really what Kabutops has been here to do. And then the second wall breaker, like true mid-game wall breaker on this team, is our Master Lock, our Buzzwole with Life Orb, Superpower, Leech Life, Ice Punch, and Roost with 252 in HP, 4 in attack, and then 44 in defense, and then 204 in special defense with a Careful Nature and 4 in speed, just in case you wanted to speed creep Buzzwole with anything. And really, Buzzwole filled the gap because he basically had a huge gap between 109 and 85 on his speed tier, or 87 on his speed tier. So I wanted to see if I could get inside that gap a little bit if he would try to speed creep just uninvested Buzzwole. But I realized with the way I EV this Buzzwole, I realized that after the match I kind of forgot about it before it. But I actually should have had his attack and defense EVs flipped, because the way I had it I have it originally with 4 in attack and 44 in defense. When we kill things, Beast Boost will raise our defense instead of raising our attack. So I messed up on that pre-game, and I didn't notice it till after. I didn't even notice it during the battle. But that's kind of what happened with Buzzwole. Basically, we're here just to punch a few things, roost up, and try to get as much damage so that Ric Flair queens up at the end, guaranteed. But without further ado, we'll go right on into the battle. Okay, we got the battle going on here, and the challenge from Carney and everything. He's got that Team Skull logo shirt looking on, looks kind of cool. He sends out first, as we saw in the preview, his kommo-o, and then I sent out Spike the Ferrothorn. Now, when I see kommo-o, I don't really know much about it since it's kind of one of the new mons. I'm expecting D-Dance, so I decided to just go right for a T-Wave as he goes for Focus Blast, hits the Focus Blast, and we live on literally 1 HP. Like, I was not expecting Focus Blast exactly. I was expecting the T-Wave, and if I could have got or expecting the D-Dance, and T-Waving on this was great if I could get the D-Dance. We ended up living on 1 and getting the T-Wave off, which was great. I decided to switch out and go into Politoed now that I'm figuring out he's special attacking. And here he told me that he went for another Focus Blast, and he's actually Scarf kommo-o, so getting that Paralyze on him was huge in the beginning, and then he gets the full Para, so he told me after that was his kommo-o set, and I was kind of amazed. But he's now going to switch out, going into Cresselia, and I kind of guessed that he would switch out into something, and nothing on his team like Toxic, so I just decided quick Toxic, get that on something, and thank God we got it on the damn Cresselia, this fucking stupid moon duck. We got it on this thing, and now I'm worried right now on the return Toxic. I don't really want Politoed Toxic this early in the match, so I'm going to decide to switch out and go into Spike. If he hits me, fine, I get a free switch. If not, I dodge a Toxic or things like that. He goes for Cycle Shift, which would have given me the Toxic. So I wasn't reading that move, but I was reading Toxic. I wasn't reading the Cycle Shift part of it. But I'm glad I made that switch there. And now I'm just going to decide to, I believe I just went for a move to hit this thing, and he goes right for the Moonblast. He's going to kill me. I'm at 1 HP, but I believe I went right for the Iron Head, I think is what I had. Yeah, the Iron Head to just hit this thing, or I went up for Spikes or Stealth. I went for something. Didn't matter. He was going to hit me to kill me anyway. But as we can see, he's going to get, I believe this is the 3rd round of Toxic damage, 2nd round of Toxic damage, something like that. But we actually get a free switch now here into not Buzzwole, into our other bug, Vikavolt. And I'm sitting here like, he's going to be scared of my Bug Buzz now. So I felt like he was going to switch out, and he does. And so he goes out into his kommo-o, and I'm actually going to quick Agility here. And I could have like predicted and just gone for 2-hit KO on this thing. I still outspeeded after the agility, but this guarantees now I'm outspeeding most of his team after the agility, and now I can just go follow up with the air slash. He told me he didn't even know this thing got air slash, and we end up having, I believe the roll was like 76% in our favor to most of them, to most kommo-os, or it was I believe above 50% to be able to kill. And we got the kill on it, and he goes now into his Hitmonlee. I'm expecting fake out and stuff, so I'd rather have him burn it now. And I see he's in fake out, but he does not fake out normal gem, so I wasn't quite sure at the time what he was. And now he goes for the Endure, and now I'm thinking, okay, he's definitely the reversal set and everything. We're going to go for the air slash, and this could have easily knocked him out if he hadn't clicked Endure, and we would have outsped him and everything as well. He endures the hit, we take more life orb damage, and he gets his berry off, the lychee berry, which raises his attack. Now, during the battle, I, for some reason, didn't read it as attack and thought he was raising speed instead, so I thought I could live this reversal. And we do not. I really messed up in what that berry was boosting up, and at this point, I'm still thinking it was raising speed, so I go into Torn knowing I could take one reversal, and when I looked at the calcs later, this reversal was like a 70% chance roll in his favor to kill me. So we both had rolls now to kill each other, and we got them. I just messed up. I should have gone here into Buzzswole right off the bat. I just read that berry wrong because he can't touch me with a reversal, as you're going to see here. This reversal is going to do nice, and I think over 50 or under 50% to Buzzswole, which is really good at +1. And I clicked Leech Life because, you know, I'll get that +1 health back. That may come in handy. We saw Ferrothorn live on 1. Might live on 1 from something else. Got the crit, but, you know, he was on 1. It didn't matter. And here we actually are going to see Buzzswole pick up a kill, which was really nice. And the Beast Boost problem of getting our defense boosted. Now, I kind of just glanced over and didn't pay attention to what stat we raised, so I thought we had an attack boost and everything. Going into this Tornadus, I decided to, instead of him guessing I was going to switch out or anything, I clicked Ice Punch on his Volt Switch, and we ended up living the Volt Switch due to being careful in nature and all of that. And he goes out into his Sand Slash, which getting an Ice Punch on this early game right at this point was really nice, blowing the thing really, really low. I was hoping we could have lived the Life Orb damage, and if we could have, then I would have roosted up the next turn or gone for the attack. Either that or he was faster than me, one of the two. It was a weird trade-off. I could have kept Buzzswole around for a little later, but I'm forced now to go into Politoed. We don't have much going on at the moment. We just have our Rain duo going, and he's decided now going to switch out and back into the Cresselia. Right now I was just like, we have our Rain duo, and that's what we got, so I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam. I didn't want him to go into Torn, or into his Thundy, and just absorb the Scald, so I figured Ice Beam was the better play. He was doing neutral to this. It was neutral, I believe, or it would have been resisted to T-Tar, but we would have got Sand up, and I could have switched around to get my Rain back up at that point. But here he decides to Cycle Shift and give me my own Toxic, which, you know, is kind of what it is. I was going to click Encore here, but I wasn't certain what he was going to actually do, so I just clicked Scald to get damage. I knew I needed damage on this thing for Kabutops to even have a chance to kill it in the rain. I knew I needed him, I believe, under 50% to have him be able to kill like a full max defensive one. And even though we're Toxic now, this is not the best opportunity for us. But he's actually going to go for his Protect here on, I believe I Toxicked on here, just try to get that back. Yes, I did. I tried to get it back on. I didn't think he was going to be Psycho Shift Protect. I wasn't expecting the Protect on this type of Cresselia, but, you know, he is what it is, and he was able to dodge the Toxic to him, and he's just wearing me down. So now I decided to switch out and go into Kabutops. Might have been better if I did it last turn on that Protect, would have been nicer. But he's actually going to go right for the Moonblast and put some pretty decent damage on my Kabutops. Like, that's decent. For a Kabutops to be able to take that much from Moonblast. And now I'm sitting here, I might be able to kill this thing. It's kind of a roll, I believe, to kill this. And he's actually going to go for the Protect to get even more leftovers. HP, you know, all the recovery he can to try to live a Waterfall in the rain. And I believe he was also trying to stall out some rain turns, which would force me to have to decide in a couple turns if I was going to stay in or sack off Politoed. I get my Waterfall now, and we end up not killing those 2 turns of leftovers. The turn that we didn't switch out and the turn of the Protect really helped him. even though he got flinched, and that kind of put this Cresselia in a place where it was just going to die anyway. He's still wanting to stall out rain turns, which is a valid point. Don't want to fault him for those protects. Like, that's exactly kind of what he needed to do to stall out rain. And I believe he might have been faster than me, depending on his EV spread, if outside of rain anyway, if he was running fast Cresselia. But he decides here to switch out and going into his Sand Slash, I believe basically just to kind of sack off the Sand Slash and give himself some more rain, burn some more of the rain turns and things like that. So really, Kabutops gets 2 kills. It ain't too bad right now. It's him and the Godfather working alone, and the rain stops now. So now I know, so now that he's bringing back out the Thundy, that I can't outspeed this thing, and I need the rain back up to outspeed it. So I switch out into Politoed now, really kind of sacking off Politoed, but it's like I need the rain at this point. I know he has T-Tar in the back still, so it was like I need the rain for as long as possible. And he just went right for the safe Thunderbolt. It was a safe play, safest play he could do on his part, just completely knocking out Politoed. I believe even though that was a crit, it was probably still killing me. If not, I would have died. It would have been 2-shot guaranteed. So I'm not too salty about that crit at all. It didn't matter in that point. But now I'm faster, and I can click Waterfall at this point to kill him. And he's actually going to go now out into his T-Tar and remove the rain completely. The Weather War ended up being in his favor as he saved his towards the very end. And I saved mine, I believe, for as long as possible. And even outside the rain, we're going to do over 75% to this Tyranitar, which is a hell of a lot of damage to do to a T-Tar. But I know I'm going to be able to outspeed, I believe, 9 times out of 10 most T-Tars, unless they're Scarfed, and I just went for the Waterfall again. We outsped. If he was Scarfed, he would have won 3-0, but because he wasn't, we're able to get that out and knock it down to a 2-0 at this point. And right now I'm like, okay, there's a glimmer of hope. Like, maybe he clicks a move that won't kill me, and I'll kill him with Stone Edge. But he just goes right for the Volt Switch, and honestly, there's no way I'm living this. It's a fucking Thunderous to a Kabutops. Like, come on. But, again, it was only a 2-0 loss for us. Not bad. A lot better than what I thought it could have been. Like, it definitely could have been a lot bigger of a loss. I'm glad we just got this goddamn battle done. Like, I'm glad we were able to get finally the schedules to work out and everything. We will fight Carney again, I believe, in week 11. So in a couple of weeks here, like 2 or 3 weeks now, we will end up fighting the same draft again. So watch out for that. And there will be another battle coming up tomorrow for another MPL battle that we had to make up from lost time and schedules not going up. So that will be coming out tomorrow, so watch out for that. But anyway, go check out Carney's links down below, see his side of the battle and stuff. He has a live comm of it, so you can see like what his thought process was and stuff. Go ahead and click that link down below for Bewears merchandise if you're so inclined. And I'm going to get up on out of here, so thank you guys for coming out. I'm Carson, this is Toxic Gaming, and as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.